She fired me in front of everyone. The words cut through the standing ovation like a blade. You're done here. Security, please remove her. My glass hadn't even touched my lips for the toast. The grand ballroom in downtown Denver went deathly still. Crystal chandeliers caught the light and trembled. 200 faces turned, eyes wide, pinning me in place. My parents stared at their napkins. My brother looked away. No one spoke. No one moved. I didn't beg. I didn't shout. I simply unclipped the guest lanyard, laid it beside the untouched flute, and walked out. The heavy doors closed behind me with a soft final click. They thought that was the end of it. They were wrong. That moment was only the fuse being lit. My name is Elena Harper. I was 17 when I first saw how favoritism flowed in our family. Smooth, effortless, always toward the golden children. Back then the business operated out of a chilly warehouse on the edge of Aurora, Colorado. Dad slid a thick employment contract across a scarred metal table. Sign it. Good money. Security. My older sister, Sophia, stood behind him, already dangling the keys to the corner office she'd been promised. She was 20, camera-ready, the one who smiled for every press photo. I scanned the offer, then looked up. I'd prefer a small equity stake instead. Dad sighed, eyes already drifting to the baseball game flickering on the ancient TV mounted in the corner. Just take the salary, Elena. It's reliable. Reliability never interested me. Control did. I pushed a single typed page toward him, an ownership agreement I drafted after midnight study sessions. He signed it during a seventh-inning stretch, pen jerking when the crowd erupted. Sophia muttered, "You always complicate everything." I folded the document away and said nothing. A quiet current had begun to run beneath the surface. Over the next decade the company grew. Sophia received fat bonus envelopes that landed with a satisfying thud. Mine came as thin transfers of additional shares, each one signed absent-mindedly during commercials or conference calls. Our younger brother, Lucas, arrived later, charming and careless. When shipments vanished under his watch, Dad told me, "Sort it out." When Sophia double-booked suppliers, Mom murmured, "She's juggling so much." My errors became crises. Theirs became anecdotes. The real shift happened in 2015. Sophia was minutes from inking a bloated distribution deal that would have strangled cash flow for years. Dad paused the video call, glanced at the TV, and asked, "This solid?" I slid an extra clause into the stack. Quiet protection language that would one day grow into Article 9F. He signed during a timeout. Sophia shot me a look. "Why do you always have to meddle?" Meddle. The word lodged like a splinter. I kept collecting pieces, ideas credited to Sophia, deals praised as Lucas's genius, relatives asking if I still helped out part-time. I didn't burn with anger. I simply mapped the pattern and adjusted my course. 3 hours before her coronation gala, I slipped into the venue early. My name appeared nowhere. Not on the program, not on the seating chart, not even as family. Just guest at table 14. Lucas smirked as he passed. "Relax. Tonight's about the stars, not the crew." I smiled, small and calm, then left. In the garage at home, under a single fluorescent bulb, I opened the laptop. Folders waited, meticulously organized across 15 years. Transfers, emails, meeting notes, every careless signature captured. I triggered the sequence. Encrypted packets flew to every board member who valued numbers over narratives. Courier confirmations blinked green. The shareholder portal, built by me during late-night system upgrades, refreshed to show my accumulated stake, steady and decisive. The trigger clause was elegant. If a non-shareholder executive dismissed a majority owner without full board consent, authority reverted automatically. They'd activated it themselves on a public stage. 2 hours and 50 minutes later I returned. Security had already repositioned, quiet, professional. Doors sealed. Phones began lighting up. The string quartet faltered. The giant screen flared to life. Special shareholder session, Article 9F invoked. I walked the center aisle alone. At the podium I opened my laptop. The voting interface filled the wall. Good evening, I said evenly. Under Article 9F, control has reverted. A motion is on the floor to vacate the recent executive appointments. Seconds cascaded into seconds. Voices rang out, second, second, second. The tally climbed, 62%, 68%, 73%. Solid green. Sophia's voice cracked. This can't happen, not tonight. The chairman's reply was dry as paper. It already has. The room exhaled as one.
Sâm panh phlut hung su penden.
A fork clattered to the floor. For months later the office felt different, balanced, breathing steadily. My new nameplate was understated brushed aluminum. Morning sun sliced cleanly across the carpet.
No drama, no spotlight.
Just structure. Sophia quietly listed her mountain condo. Lucas hit dead ends thanks to the non-compete. Mom and Dad retreated to Arizona, messages unanswered. Power, I've learned, isn't the person who grabs the microphone. It lives in the fine print no one reads, the signatures given in distraction, the safeguards built while others pose for pictures. Silence isn't surrender. It's strategy. And sometimes, the quietest person in the room is the one who ends up holding everything.